Well, this morning we've got to run through how to remove your hydraulic lift cover on our John Deere 2030. Now, I've taken the seat off, there's 2 bolts here and I've put a lifting eye there, and the same job as lifting it off on our 2030 here. It's exactly the same job on a 2030, 2130, say a 1830, a 1640, 2040, 2140, and look right up, even the same basic principle right up onto a 3350. It's you know, a few little things different selective control valves and things like that, but the main job is probably, well, the base job's the same, but particularly on 2030, 2130, 1640, 2040, 2140 and those models there. So you'll need a 3/4 socket. These fellas around here are 3/4. Now this fella here, that's where the wiring harness comes up for the safety start switch here. We don't need to do anything with that. There's a bolt that a 9 spanner would fit, so it's a 3/8 UNC. We don't touch that there, leave that fella there. But what we need to do is run around these bolts, and we have to lift the entire cover straight up, which we'll bring a little crane in to do. Now, when we have a look at what we need to do that, this lever here, this is our draft and position control lever. It stays with us, but this lever here, the main lift control lever, well, it stays with the lift cover. So we obviously have to get this selective control valve block out of the way. Then once we've undone it here, I often like to undo it up the back here, but we need to take that bracket out of the way. But look, how you do that is up to you. What I like to do is just loosen everything off first. So I'll come around the back just for the moment, and I find walking front, back, it keeps you busy. So the 7/8 spanner fits here. I cracked this a bit earlier just to save a bit of time in the video. And these are the 2 pipes that go straight back to your selective control valve couplers here. Now, I've never used these, they're tight as buggery probably, and yeah, just one of those things, I suppose. I've never needed them at home here because this is mainly my slashing tractor, and what we're looking at doing here is popping the lift cover off, because if you can recall, this tractor was jumping out of reverse gear. So we've split the high-low and all, and, but I believe what I need to get at is in here. But because we have to take the hydraulic lift cover off, even though it's working well, we're going to run through it, just show you how it's done. Now that little fella there is always a pain in the ring. I do have a little snap-on crow's foot for there. Now some of these pipes, this one here is going to be a tight one, and I've left it tight just to show you how I deal with that, or how I like to deal with it at least. Keep in mind what I'm doing here is how I do it. If you've got a mate or a friend or something that does it different, that's no problem. Doesn't mean he's right and I'm wrong, or I'm wrong and or the other way around anyway. Or I'm right and he's right, it just doesn't matter. There's just a lot of ways to do a job. And my videos, okay, you can see when I try and turn this one, that fitting is coming too. So we need to clamp that fitting, and we need 2 spanners, but what we'll do first, I'll grab my hammer. And I do like to have a little bit of a smack around the fitting there, just to A little jarring action, it's surprising what it'll do for you. Still tight there. Okay, I'll go and get another spanner. Okay, now get some of your famous or your very favourite possum pea. Doesn't matter what brand you use. Porcupine pea, possum piss, monkey juice, jungle juice. I've worked at a lot of places and they all call it different. But anyway, that's completely beside the point. So what we're doing here, we're holding the fitting that sits into the back of the coupler and we're loosening this fella here off. So try not to bend these pipes if you can help it. Sometimes they've sprung, they've been hit and things like that, and when they're sprung they're quite hard to get back in the right place and get a fresh start. And when you're putting them back on, don't use a spanner to get them back on. Try and have them free enough. Once you have them off, clean them up enough that the nut turns nice and freely, and you can start them with your fingers, because unless you're the Hulk, you won't be able to have the strength to strip a thread going that way. So we'll come around the front. We still have this fitting here to do yet. And he's a bit of a difficult one. But what I like to do here sometimes, I have a snap-on crow's foot and a snap-on ratchet. The brand doesn't matter. I probably had to get a second mortgage to buy them. But when I was in the trade, had my own workshops and I was on day to day, oh boy, every day of the week mechanicking, well, it was important to have something to do the job. So I'll try and kneel down here. I battle along here with the light. Let's see if I can come in. Whoop. Okay, that's going that way. We need to go the other way, so that'll be coming loose at least. There we go. There's my first drop for the video. Hey, it's good to have a couple of drops in your video. So there you go, my fancy old snap-on spanner didn't cut it, but my old King Chrome one did. I think that should be okay. Yep, that's going back. So we'll grab the right spanner there. So we're looking for a 1/2 inch spanner here. Oh, I can probably stand up again. We'll run through this remote. This is a old rack and pinion style selective control valve. There's nothing to these things. Oh, this light's in the road. Try and coming in under it. Or go around the back. I should take a photo and put in the video of how we set up here to try and get this all filmed. You'll be amazed. I've got 12 inches over here and possibly another 14 over here. So I have a GoPro up here, a light here, a light there, and another light behind me, which I'm blocking just at the moment. Okay, and they have a couple of little quad rings where the oil seals, but that all needs a clean. This return pipe here needs to come off, and I'll probably undo it on the bottom of this block just to get it out of the way, but that gives us a free lift up in here. So we'll just pop that up on the wheel there for the moment. Come around the front here. Okay, so a bit of possum pea in here, a little bit down there. We need to get that out of the way. Once again, you will strike these where this is that tight that it turns this fitting in there, and I loosened this one off earlier just to try and make the video a little bit shorter. Oh, come off there. That's 1/16" spanner I'm using there. For those of you who don't know, this is the rate of drop. You can shut this right off or open it up depending on how fast you'd like your implement to lower. Lower only. Some people used to ring up and say, oh, I was slashing away, topping away, or whatever they call it in their country, and I went to put the slasher down and it wouldn't come down. And look, there can be a couple of things to look at there, but one of the major ones is this fella here can be locked off and it won't go down. If that's right round, it just won't go down. Okay. I think that GoPro is still recording, I just can't see what it's doing. It's new to me, so I'll probably bugger a few things up learning to use it, I'd say. Lose a bit of footage and things like that. That one out of the way. And that's just a banjo bolt with a couple of washers and a bit of rubbish in it by the look of that. So that can go down on the ground here in my pot. All right, those pipes will come out of the way as well. If they don't want to come out, you can undo the bracket and wiggle them out and get it all working from there. Okay, I've got my Makita nut gun and my 3/4 socket, so I'll just start rattling these off. Don't worry about marking them yet. Once you go back together, you'll see how far they stick up for each different size bolt. And we'll just set them down on the floor next to my milk crate so I can know where they are for later. Then I'll go around the back. And first up we'll get these, the ones on the remote bracket out of the way. Then we have another one here. Another one here. Alright, there's a bit of rubbish here. I'll probably try and blow all that away a bit first. And I'll actually cut here and I'll get the crane set up and I'll come back when we're just ready to hook on here and lift him straight up. Okay, you can see I have the crane in here now. It's just my standard little engine lifting crane, and all we need to do now we've checked all the bolts are out, just give him a bit of a lift. Now this fella seems to be a little bit stuck on. They usually come away a bit easier. There we go. On its way. I'll just take the jack up a little more. There's a couple of dowels here, so we'll let him sit and pick him up again. And just with a little weight there we go. We need to try and bring it up even if we can. That was sitting stuck on a dowel. And we just need to go straight up. Okay, so with that up, I can just pull the rock shaft straight out. Now usually I'd go backwards, but because of where the tractor is, I'm coming forwards out of the split with this one. So we have that away. Now that gives us a look in the gearbox to see what nick it's in, and it's looking pretty good. Now this here has a twist in it, and that you can see a little gap in through here, so we will deal with that. We'll straighten all that up while we're in here. But oh, those gears look lovely. Okay, that's lifting the top cover off. Next time you see the cover, it'll be over on a stand so we can film stripping it down to see what we have.